Welcome, nature lovers, wildlife enthusiasts, and curious minds from every corner of the world. We are so glad you are here. Today, we are diving into the wild, fascinating, and jaw-dropping world of one of nature's most extraordinary creatures, a living relic of the ancient forest floor that looks like it was dreamed up by a fantasy artist, yet walks among us in the real world. We are talking about the magnificent and mysterious stag beetle. So get comfortable. Open your mind wide, and if you enjoy what you see today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a moment of the wild wonders we explore together. What is a stag beetle? The stag beetle is one of the most visually striking and scientifically fascinating insects on the planet. Belonging to the family Lucanidae, stag beetles are a group of approximately 1,200 species of beetles found across multiple continents, including Europe, Asia, North America, South America, and parts of Africa and Australia. The family name Lucanidae is derived from the Italian region of Lucania, and the common name stag beetle comes from the remarkable antler-like mandibles found on the males of most species. Mandibles so large, so elaborate, and so otherworldly in appearance that they immediately remind observers of the proud antlers carried by a male stag deer. Hence the name. Within the order Coleoptera, which is the largest order in the entire animal kingdom, containing more than 400,000 known species of beetles, the family Lucanidae stands out as one of the most charismatic and recognizable. These are not small, easily overlooked insects. The largest species can reach extraordinary sizes. The giant stag beetle of North America, Lucanus elaphus, and the European stag beetle, Lucanus cervus, are among the most well-known species, but it is the titan of the group, the Dorcas titanus of Southeast Asia, that truly captures the imagination. With some individuals growing to lengths exceeding 11 centimeters, from the tips of their mandibles to the end of their abdomen. Let us start from the very beginning and understand what a stag beetle truly is, from its physical structure to its biology, its behavior, its life cycle, its ecological role, and the extraordinary drama of its daily existence. The body of a stag beetle is divided into three main segments, as with all insects: the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. The entire body is encased in a hard exoskeleton made of chitin, a tough, lightweight, and surprisingly resilient biological material. In most species, this exoskeleton has a rich, deep coloration, often a glossy chestnut brown, jet black, or a combination of reddish brown and black that gives these beetles a polished, almost lacquered appearance when viewed in sunlight. The most immediately noticeable feature of the male stag beetle is, without question, the mandibles. These enlarged, curved, branching jaw structures are not used for eating in the traditional sense. In fact, the adult stag beetle rarely eats solid food at all. Instead, the mandibles serve a single, dramatic, and highly important purpose: combat. Male stag beetles use their mandibles to grapple with rival males in fierce battles over territory and mating rights. These battles, while intense and visually spectacular, are rarely fatal. The goal is not to kill, but to overpower, to lift, flip, or push a rival off a branch or log, establishing dominance and earning the right to mate with a nearby female. The mandibles of a stag beetle are so extraordinarily exaggerated in some species that they can equal or even exceed the length of the beetle's entire body. Evolutionary biologists recognize this as a trait driven by competition, a feature that may reduce the individual's overall chances of survival in certain ways, yet dramatically increases its ability to dominate rivals and assert its presence within the species. It is nature's way of rewarding the bold and the powerful. And in many ways, it is the insect world's own version of the peacock's magnificent tail, extravagant, striking, and impossible to ignore. Female stag beetles, by contrast, have much smaller mandibles, proportionate, functional jaws, used for gripping and burrowing. Females are often slightly smaller than males overall, and while they lack the dramatic headgear of their male counterparts, they are powerful, purposeful insects in their own right. The legs of a stag beetle are strong, well-developed, and equipped with small hooks and spines that allow the insect to grip onto bark, wood, and branches with considerable force. This is essential both for their arboreal lifestyle and for the physical demands of combat and mating. The wings of most stag beetle species are fully functional, and these insects are capable of flight, though they are not particularly agile in the air. Males of the European stag beetle are known to fly on warm summer evenings, often near the tops of trees, in search of mates. The life cycle of the stag beetle is one of the most extraordinary and long-drawn biological processes found in the insect world. It begins with a tiny, oval, pale white egg, laid by the female in a carefully chosen spot, typically deep within the soft, rotting wood of a dead tree stump, a fallen log, or buried roots underground. The female is highly selective about where she lays her eggs, because the quality of the rotting wood will determine the survival and development of her offspring. After a few weeks, the egg hatches into a larva, a pale, creamy white, C-shaped grub with a tough, orange-brown head and strong mandibles designed for one purpose: eating. The larva of a stag beetle is a voracious consumer of decaying wood, specifically the soft, fungus-rotted heartwood of dead hardwood trees such as oak, ash, and beech. The larva tunnels through this rotting wood, consuming it and digesting it with the help of symbiotic microorganisms in its gut. Here is where the stag beetle's life cycle becomes truly remarkable. The larval stage lasts not for days or weeks or even a single season, but for multiple years, depending on the species and environmental conditions such as temperature, humidity, and food availability. Stag beetle larvae can spend anywhere from 3 to 7 years, and in some cases, even longer, eating, growing, and developing underground or within their woody habitat. In the United Kingdom, the European stag beetle larva typically takes between 4 and 6 years to complete its development. This extended larval phase is one of the longest developmental periods of any insect in the temperate world. During this time, the larva molt sheds its skin multiple times, passing through several distinct growth stages called instars. With each molt, it grows larger and larger, its pale body swelling with stored nutrients and fat reserves that will sustain it through the next phase of its life. By the time the larva is fully grown and ready to pupate, it may be several centimeters long and extraordinarily plump. When the larva has reached full development, it constructs a pupal chamber, a sealed cell made of compacted soil and chewed wood material. And inside this chamber, it undergoes one of nature's most magical transformations: metamorphosis. The larva transforms into a pupa, a seemingly inert, alien-looking intermediate form. Inside the pupal case, the body is completely reorganized at a cellular level, breaking down and rebuilding itself into the adult form. This process, called holometabolous metamorphosis, results in an organism that looks and functions entirely differently from its larval self. After several months in the pupal stage, usually overwintering and emerging in late spring or early summer, the fully formed adult beetle emerges hardened, colored, and ready to fulfill its final biological purpose. The adult life of a stag beetle is strikingly short when compared to its long larval existence. Most adult stag beetles live for only a few weeks to a few months. During this brief window, they do not focus on eating. Adult stag beetles have reduced, non-functional digestive systems and survive primarily by drinking tree sap, overripe fruit juices, and other liquid sugars. Their single biological mission as adults is reproduction. Males emerge first and begin patrolling territory, engaging in their famous mandible battles with rivals and searching for females. Females spend much of their time searching for the perfect egg-laying site, a task that can take considerable energy and time. Once mated, the female lays her eggs, and, having completed her biological purpose, she too dies. The adults of most species do not survive beyond a single summer season. This poignant brevity of the adult stage after years of slow, patient development makes the stag beetle a powerful symbol in many cultures of transformation, effort, and the fleeting beauty of life's most brilliant moments. Stag beetles are strongly associated with ancient deciduous woodlands, old-growth forests, hedgerows, parks, and gardens where old trees and decaying wood are present. They are found across a broad geographic range from the British Isles and continental Europe eastward through Asia, and with related species in the Americas and beyond. In Europe, the UK is considered one of the most important strongholds for the European stag beetle, with the species particularly abundant in South and West London, parts of the home counties, and the New Forest. Ecologically, stag beetles play a crucial and often underappreciated role in the health of woodland ecosystems. As larvae, they are decomposers breaking down dead wood and recycling nutrients back into the soil. This process is essential for soil fertility and for the health of the broader forest ecosystem. As adults, they contribute to the food web, serving as prey for foxes, badgers, corvids such as magpies and crows, and other predators. Even their dung and the debris of their tunneling contributes to the organic richness of woodland soils. Dead wood, the habitat that stag beetles depend on, is itself one of the most biodiverse microhabitats in any woodland ecosystem, supporting hundreds of species of fungi, invertebrates, mosses, and microorganisms. By depending on and thriving within dead wood, stag beetles are what ecologists call an umbrella species. By protecting them, we also protect an entire community of other organisms. Despite their wide distribution, many stag beetle species are under pressure. The European stag beetle is listed as a vulnerable species across much of its range, and is legally protected in the United Kingdom under the Wildlife and Countryside Act, 1981. The primary threats facing stag beetle populations include habitat loss through the removal of dead wood, old tree stumps, and fallen logs from gardens, parks, and woodland edges. Intensive land management, urban development, the use of pesticides, and climate change are all contributing to declines in suitable stag beetle habitat. Conservation efforts focus on raising public awareness about the importance of leaving dead wood in place, creating log piles in gardens, planting native hardwood trees, and monitoring population trends through citizen science programs. Organizations across Europe run annual stag beetle recording projects, asking members of the public to report sightings, helping scientists build a clearer picture of where populations are thriving and where they are in decline. The stag beetle has captured the human imagination for centuries. In ancient Rome, the larvae of large beetles were considered a delicacy. In various European folk traditions, the stag beetle was associated with storms in some regions. It was called the thunder beetle or fire beetle, with superstitions suggesting that the insect could carry glowing embers in its mandibles and cause house fires. In Japan, the stag beetle known as Kuwagata mushi holds a place of deep cultural affection, kept as a cherished pet and celebrated in art, toys, video games, and media. Stag beetle collecting and breeding is a serious and beloved hobby in Japan, with rare large specimens sometimes fetching extraordinary prices. In modern popular culture, stag beetles appear in nature documentaries, wildlife photography, entomology education, and increasingly in conservation messaging. They have become ambassadors not just for their own species, but for the broader cause of insect conservation and the protection of woodland habitats. The stag beetle is, in every sense of the word, a wonder of the natural world, ancient in lineage, extraordinary in form, complex in life history, and essential in ecological function. It is a reminder that even the smallest and most overlooked corners of our natural world contain stories of breathtaking drama, beauty, and biological ingenuity. And there you have it. Friends, everything you ever wanted to know about the incredible stag beetle. We truly hope this journey through the wild world of these magnificent creatures left you with a deeper appreciation for nature and all its wonders. If you enjoyed today's video or learned something new, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a new adventure. And don't forget to drop a comment below telling us whether you have ever spotted a stag beetle in the wild and what you thought when you first laid eyes on one. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind to nature, and we will see you in the next one.